Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the man who would later be known as Mahatma, meaning great soul, was born on 2nd October 1869 in Porbandar, India. His birthplace, a coastal town in the present-day state of Gujarat, was a bustling port city known for its trade and commerce. Gandhi's early years were spent in a traditional Indian household, surrounded by the rich cultural and spiritual heritage of his family. His family was deeply religious and believed in non-violence. They were devout followers of Vaishnavism, a tradition within Hinduism that emphasizes the worship of Vishnu and promotes the principles of compassion and non-violence. This spiritual environment had a profound impact on young Mohandas, shaping his values and beliefs from a very early age. Young Mohandas was a shy and quiet child. He was not particularly remarkable in his studies or social interactions, often preferring solitude and introspection. Despite his reserved nature, he was deeply observant and sensitive to the world around him, qualities that would later define his approach to leadership and activism. He was sent to England to study law at the age of 18. This was a significant turning point in his life, as it exposed him to Western ideas and philosophies. During his time in London, Gandhi faced numerous challenges, including cultural shock and homesickness, but he persevered, driven by a strong sense of duty and purpose. After becoming a barrister, Gandhi returned to India. He hoped to establish a successful legal practice and contribute to his family's well-being. However, the reality of practicing law in India was far more challenging than he had anticipated. He initially struggled to find his footing as a lawyer. The legal profession in India was highly competitive, and Gandhi's introverted nature made it difficult for him to assert himself in the courtroom. These early professional struggles, however, were crucial in shaping his character and resilience. He soon realized that his heart lay in fighting for justice and equality. His experiences in South Africa, where he faced racial discrimination, further solidified his commitment to social justice. Gandhi began to see the law not just as a profession, but as a tool for social change. This realization would shape his destiny and the future of India. Gandhi's journey from a shy, introspective child to a global leader and symbol of non-violent resistance is a testament to the power of conviction and the enduring impact of early life experiences. In 1893, Gandhi traveled to South Africa for work. He was shocked by the discrimination and racism faced by Indians there. This experience ignited a fire in him to fight for the rights of his people. It was in South Africa that Gandhi developed his philosophy of satyagraha, meaning truth force. Satyagraha advocated for non-violent resistance against injustice. Gandhi believed in the power of truth and love to overcome hatred and oppression. He organized protests and campaigns urging Indians to resist discriminatory laws peacefully. Gandhi returned to India in 1915, a transformed man. He had found his voice and his purpose. India, under British colonial rule, was yearning for freedom. Gandhi, with his message of satyagraha, quickly became a beacon of hope for millions. He joined the Indian National Congress, the leading political party fighting for independence. Gandhi traveled across the country, connecting with people from all walks of life. He addressed their grievances and mobilized them against British rule. In 1917, Gandhi launched his first major satyagraha campaign in Champaran, Bihar. Farmers were forced to grow indigo, a cash crop, under exploitative conditions by British landlords. Gandhi arrived in Champaran and listened to the farmers' woes. He then led a non-violent protest, demanding an end to the indigo system. The British government, taken aback by the sheer scale of the movement, was forced to concede. Champaran marked Gandhi's first victory in India and established satyagraha as a potent force. In 1918, Gandhi took up the cause of peasants in Kheda, Gujarat. The region was hit by a severe drought, leading to crop failures and widespread famine. Despite the hardship, the British government refused to waive tax collection. Gandhi launched a satyagraha movement, urging farmers to refuse paying taxes until the government acknowledged their plight. The Kheda Satyagraha, though less dramatic than Champaran, further cemented Gandhi's image as a leader willing to fight for the poorest of the poor. The year 1919 marked a significant turning point in India's long and arduous struggle for freedom. This period was characterized by intense political activity and widespread unrest across the country. The British government, in an attempt to curb the growing nationalist movement, passed the Rowlatt Act. This controversial legislation granted the authorities sweeping powers to suppress any form of dissent and imprison individuals without trial, effectively curtailing civil liberties. In response to this draconian law, Mahatma Gandhi, a prominent leader of the Indian independence movement, called for nationwide protests. He urged the people of India to engage in non-violent civil disobedience, a strategy that had already begun to gain traction among the masses. On April 13, 1919, a peaceful gathering in Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar, turned into a horrific tragedy. British troops, under the command of General Dyer, brutally fired upon the unarmed crowd, killing hundreds of men, women and children who had assembled to protest against the Rowlatt Act. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre sent shockwaves across India and the world, exposing the sheer brutality of the British Raj. This tragic event galvanized the Indian population, strengthening their resolve to fight for complete independence and marking a pivotal moment in the history of India's freedom struggle. In 1920, Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement. This marked a significant escalation in the fight against British rule. Gandhi called upon Indians to boycott British institutions, goods and services. Schools, colleges and courts were boycotted. The movement gained immense momentum, shaking the foundations of British authority in India. People from all sections of society participated, united in their demand for Swaraj, or self-rule. In February 1922, the non-cooperation movement suffered a setback. A group of protesters in Chauri Chaura, Uttar Pradesh, clashed with police, resulting in the deaths of several policemen. Gandhi, a staunch believer in non-violence, was deeply disturbed by the incident. He believed that the movement had veered off its path and immediately called for its suspension. Gandhi's decision, though controversial, underscored his unwavering commitment to ahimsa. In 1930, Gandhi launched the Salt Satyagraha, also known as the Dandi March. The British government had imposed a salt tax which heavily burdened the poorest Indians. Gandhi, with a group of followers, embarked on a 240-mile march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, Gujarat. Their aim was to produce salt from seawater, defying the British monopoly. The Salt March captured the imagination of the nation. Millions joined the movement, making their own salt and participating in peaceful protests. The Salt March sparked a nationwide civil disobedience movement. Indians from all walks of life refused to cooperate with British laws. They boycotted government institutions, refused to pay taxes, and participated in peaceful demonstrations. The British government responded with brutal repression. Thousands were imprisoned, including Gandhi himself. However, the movement severely weakened British authority and demonstrated the unwavering spirit of the Indian people. In 1942, as World War II raged, Gandhi launched the Quit India movement. He issued a clarion call to the British to quit India immediately and grant India complete independence. The movement witnessed widespread protests and demonstrations. The British government responded with brute force, arresting thousands of Congress leaders, including Gandhi. Despite the crackdown, the Quit India movement marked a turning point. It made it clear that the British could no longer hold on to India. At the heart of Gandhi's philosophy lay the twin principles of ahimsa and satyagraha. Ahimsa, meaning non-violence, was not merely a political strategy for Gandhi, but a way of life. He believed in the inherent goodness of all human beings and advocated for love and compassion as the means to overcome hatred and injustice. Satyagraha, meaning truth force, was the active application of ahimsa. India finally achieved independence on 15th August 1947. However, the joy of freedom was overshadowed by the tragedy of partition. British India was divided into two independent nations, India and Pakistan, along religious lines. The partition resulted in one of the largest mass migrations in human history, accompanied by widespread violence and bloodshed. Gandhi, who had always dreamt of a united India, was deeply saddened by the partition. On 30th January 1948, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated by a Hindu extremist. This tragic event marked the end of an era, but it also solidified his place in history as a martyr for peace and non-violence. His death plunged India and the world into mourning. Millions of people from all walks of life gathered to pay their respects. The grief was palpable, not just in India, but across the globe. Gandhi, the apostle of peace and non-violence, was gone. Yet, his teachings and principles continued to resonate. His simple lifestyle and profound wisdom left an indelible mark on humanity, but his legacy continues to inspire generations across the globe, from schools named in his honor to peace marches that echo his philosophy. Gandhi's influence is omnipresent. His philosophy of satyagraha has influenced countless movements for civil rights and social justice. The idea of non-violent resistance has been a powerful tool for change. Martin Luther King Jr. in the United States, who led the civil rights movement, was deeply inspired by Gandhi's methods. He adopted non-violence as a cornerstone of his struggle for equality. Nelson Mandela in South Africa, who fought against apartheid, also drew strength from Gandhi's teachings. Mandela's long walk to freedom was guided by the principles of non-violence and reconciliation. And Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar are just a few examples of leaders who have drawn inspiration from Gandhi's life and teachings. His impact on global leaders and movements is a testament to the enduring power of his message.